John Foss here, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm talking with Amanda Peet. We're talking about her new show, Dirty John, the Betty Broderick story. It's actually season 2, but your first season, Amanda. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Well, I think Alexandra was really fascinated by the Betty Broderick story and just felt like it was worth retelling now that we know a little bit more about mental illness and a little bit more about the social milieu in which Betty grew up, and then in the 80s, the divorce law, which, Dan Broderick was the president of the San Diego Bar Association, so her divorce case was to some extent rigged, and she ended up feeling really cornered, partly because I think she was mentally ill.
When you were actually going through this character and learning more about the character, did you actually meet with Betty to learn more about her character?
I never met with her. It seems that, she doesn't have a lot of remorse, and I guess I felt like I just wanted to rely on Alexandra, who had done, so much research and looked at all of the transcripts over the years from the court hearings, and so I just really went through her.
And there's a very popular podcast that also tells this story. Is this based around that podcast? And did you listen to that to find out more about the story too?
I don't think this one was a podcast, but honestly, I just really went, Alexandra's scripts were the first time I had heard of Betty Broderick, and I just really went through her. And I read a little bit about her and looked at the video footage. But again, most of the video footage we have, or all of it, is from the trial onwards, and Alexandra's story really digs into the years leading up to the murders.
What was the murders obviously, but what was the most shocking part of the story where you read the script and you were like, oh man, I can't believe this actually happened?
I think just it was how they seemed to be such a normal suburban American family. They had socioeconomic status, they had a nice house, nice clothes. She was a soccer mom. It's fascinating because she seems so relatable, and so did he. And so it's hard not to want to understand how this could have happened. How can someone snap after having the good life for so long?
And I've seen some early reviews, and a lot of people are saying that this is a role for you that is kind of taking you to the next level. You're doing something new. Where does this rank as far as for you in your career as roles that you've played? Do you feel like this is one of your favorites? This is taking you from where you were before to the next level?
Look, I'm 48 years old. I'm really excited that I'm still working. Mm-hmm. And I think Alexandra is an incredible writer, and she writes very, very, very complicated, dynamic roles for women. Betty had so many facets to her personality. She was very childish. She was rageful. She was very funny. She was a good mom and also a horrific mom. So it's kind of every actor's dream to be able to run the gamut like that.
One thing that I've noticed about USA is they have some really cool shows right now. For example, Mr. Robot was amazing, one of my favorite shows that recently wrapped up, and Christian Slater was also in that show. What was it like working with Christian Slater in this?
We just didn't have enough of the fun beginning part. We got to do a few scenes where we were madly in love, and it was the beginning of the marriage when they were so full of promise. But he's the most classy, generous, fun, doting father, hilarious man and co-star. And I love him a lot.
That's awesome. You guys did such a great job.
I used to have a crush on him.
What's that?
I used to have a crush on him.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Cuffs was a great show back in the day. Cuffs.
I was thinking more of Heather's, but yeah, okay.
I'll check that out. All right, so one question, little off topic here. because I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Do you still get? I mean, you've had an amazing career and done so many awesome things, but Seinfeld runs all the time, and you had a great role in that show. Do you still get comments about your role in Seinfeld?
I do sometimes, and I'm really proud of that. I feel like that's a feather in my cap, to say the least.
Definitely an iconic show, and you're an iconic actor. Thank you so much for being with us today. Great job on the show. Twin Cities, check out Amanda Peet in Dirty John, the Betty Broderick story. It airs Tuesdays at 8 here in the Twin Cities on USA. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks so much.